Hi, I'm Darlene Carman.
And I'm Doug Carman.
Welcome to the show. Maria Delegeane designs and constructs tutus for professional ballet dancers and serious students. Oh, and did I mention she's also an elementary school teacher? Today we will discuss some of the history behind the art form. We will also see some of her recent creations with her daughter Elizabeth, modeling and dancing to show them off in action. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Maria, hi.
Hi.
Tell us, what's the origin of the tutu?
The origin of the tutu, well, let me tell you, it is called the greatest costuming invention of all time. It's an art form that started in Europe around the 15th century when ballet was the rave, that was the dance. But ballet was only danced among the elite, in castles, in court dancing. Okay, at first, the designs were long. Well, because you know, you don't show your ankles in it. And then when leg movement became more intricate, the hem started to raise. And this is where the tutu goes in two different paths.
So, how did the tutu name come to be? Where did that come from?
Actually, it's the French baby word for coucou, or cuckoo, which means bottom. You see, well, you see, in the theaters, the elite, the aristocracy sat in the upper boxes.
Yeah.
And the commoners sat on the bottom, lower levels, where the orchestra seats. Sure. Well, from their perspective, they get a different view of the dancer. So coucou or cuckoo kind of just stuck because they were seeing, their perspective of the dancer was from underneath, being in the lower boxes.
So going from rehearsals to performing, what transpires when a ballerina dons a tutu?
Well, when a ballerina dons a tutu, her technique is exposed. She can't hide any weaknesses in her technique. Okay, when she wears a tutu, she feels like a ballerina. She feels elegant. Yeah. She knows she has clean lines, but also she has a different spatial awareness of herself because she can't see her feet.
Oh, she can't. That's right. She wouldn't be able to see your feet.
No, you can't see your feet.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
So, and when worn, sometimes because a tutu, and I'll talk about the different types of net, the tutu net is kind of stiff, so a dancer will get tutu rash.
Oh, no, not a good thing.
No, not a good thing. And then when she's dancing with a partner, a male partner, he needs to get used to this big stuffy thing, and the dancer, and he can't see her feet. So many times a male dancer would get cuts because of the elaborate decorations, rhinestones, crystals.
Cut, right?
Or get caught, I would imagine.
Get caught?
Yeah.
So there's a whole different, you know, working that he has to work with, which can be dangerous, but the show must go on.
But the feeling, I think that's what really happens. You know, it's like when you go to a party and you put on a beautiful dress. Don't you feel better? It's probably the same thing.
Well, you feel elegant. Yeah, they feel like a ballerina.
Yeah. So what are the different types of styles of tutus do they have?
Okay, like I said in the beginning when you were asking about the origins, it went in two different directions. Okay, because the hem got shorter. Now let me first show you the first direction it went to, and this is called the romantic tutu.
The romantic tutu. I can go for that.
Okay, right here, this is a romantic style tutu.
Wow, that's beautiful.
As you can see, it's light, it's delicate.
Yeah.
Right, and this was first seen in around the romantic period of music, around the first 1800s. All right. It's made up with about 4 layers of tulle. Now, tulle is soft, net is kind of stiff. And when a dancer wears this and moves, she feels like, it looks like she's floating or flying across the stage. In fact,
like a cloud.
Like a cloud, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, in the 1800s, the stage lighting, there was no electricity at that time, right? At the edge of the stage were gas lights. So there was one tragedy where a ballerina wearing a romantic tutu caught on fire. Her name was Emma Livery.
Oh, that stopped the show.
It wasn't, well, Yes.
Not a pretty sight.
Not a very pretty sight.
No.
And I'd like to show you how it moves.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
and I'll
see.
have Elizabeth, my daughter, show you how a romantic tutu moves as she
Love
moves
to
across
see
the
it.
stage.
Beautiful.
Well, anyway, the first time a romantic tutu appeared on stage was with Marie Taglioni, and this is my first picture. First picture. There she is, Marie Taglioni. She appeared in a production of La Sylphide, and she performed this in the Paris Opera House in Paris, and it was just amazing to the people then to see this type of tutu where it's getting shorter. Now this is the romantic tutu. Now the second type of tutu, the second path it went toward, is called a classical tutu, and I have a classical tutu here on this side right here. And now the classical tutu, it came about because there was a demand for more intricate leg work. And if you see, a dancer will be fully exposed here because of the legs.
Yeah.
It's made so that she is symmetrical and aerodynamic. Okay, and the classical tutu, there are 3 different types of classical tutus. The first type is a pancake or platter type where it's completely straight out. And you will notice that type of tutu a lot in Russia. Then there is the bell shape where it's slightly bowed down, and the Paris Opera House Ballet will wear that type of tutu. And then Balanchine, George Balanchine in New York, has his own style of tutu where it is called a powder puff, where it's similar to this, but it's separated more so that it looks puffy.
Looks
Okay.
like a lot of layers. How many layers do you know?
There are 10 layers in here. Let me show you the parts of the tutu.
Okay.
Okay, the top part is called the bodice, and it's made similar to a corset.
I see that. Yeah, kind of stiff back here.
Kind of stiff, right?
Yeah. Let's see the back side of that.
In the back side, it's lined,
See? You see?
and the lining is in a coutil. And the boning here, there's spiral metal steel boning inside. So
Wow.
the reason why it's so stiff and there's steel boning is to keep the dancer lifted,
Oh, yeah. I could use one
to
of these.
keep her lifted.
Really nice. Wow.
Yeah. And then now the skirt. Here's the skirt here. Yeah. Okay, and there are different
they
parts
do
to the
come
skirt.
in separate individual parts that are put,
Oh yeah, because there's different
I
lengths
see.
of the
So-
body.
So it fits different,
Bodies.
tall or short,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Right, yeah. So this part here is called the basque. Okay. Then you have the panty area where
Aw.
the net. Net is very stiff. Tulle on the romantic tutu is softer. There are 10 layers of tulle.
Wow.
So, and if you feel it's very stiff, and
Oh,
like I said, they
yeah.
get tutu rash.
I can see why they would. Because, you know, nobody perspires,
they're
right?
all,
But, you know.
individually sewn, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
I'll show you that. Yeah,
It can't
and-
be sewn as a group. You have to do
each one by one.
Yeah.
Exactly, and then it is embellished with a plate here that goes on top, and then this is where they put the decoration
Wow.
right on top, and the embellishment has to be durable because it goes through a lot of beating.
Did I understand that this is a different, is it the same?
It's the same.
It is the same. It's just not gathered.
Gathered or pleated.
Okay.
Well, how long does it take to make one of these tutu? You know, all handmade. How
A
long would
tutu,
that- Yeah.
a tutu plain without any embellishment would take about 40 hours, approximately
and then
40
the
hours.
embellishment, with
An
like what you saw
embellishment
on the top.
would take probably another 20 hours if I
That's
sit.
done by hand, right?
Hand
All
or
of that.
machine.
And the machine?
Right.
The embellishment? Oh,
Boy,
Wow.
that's 60 hours. That's a long.
It's a long time, sometimes more depending on the embellishment.
No, so just the,
Let me show you, talk about the making
okay.
of the tutu. And the tutu has to fit like a glove because it becomes part of the dancer's body. Okay, now let me show you. Right now I'm working on Sleeping Beauty Aurora. Here's the skirt, okay. 10 layers. I already put the top layer. It's
So yeah, you're working on
gathered,
that now. That's in
right?
process.
Wow.
in the process.
Oh, I see. You
Underneath,
got all the pins. To
Look
keep
at
Right.
this.
underneath is the
Then the next
panty area. Now, within all this space here, I have to put 8 more layers, which looks like, now don't be surprised, okay?
Oh my goodness.
I have to fit all that in that space.
Holy cow! You got to get all that in there.
All
my
that in that
goodness.
space.
Oh my goodness. Whoa.
So once this is all sewn onto the panty, I'll show you, I have a 4th picture.
You have another. Yeah.
A 4th picture. There, I will sew that onto the panty. And now let's go to the 5th picture. After it's sewn on, it will look like this.
Yeah, it looks like just one big cloud.
And then it'll look like this.
Yeah.
It'll look like one big powder puff. Then after I steam it and tack it, it will then look like this next picture.
It'll calm down.
No,
oh my goodness.
unbelievable.
Oh, I'd like to see that in action. Wouldn't that be fun to see that?
You have to steam it. Do you have to
We
iron
steam
it?
it, no, not iron, we
you
steam it
can't
to
iron
kind of
it.
calm it down.
Calm it down.
And then we tack it so that the layers stay
Oh,
together.
calm down. Oh.
Otherwise, if they're not tacked down when the dancer's dancing, it can,
Oh, I see. Oh.
right?
So you'd be fluttering.
Now,
be
with all
fluttering.
this work, I understand that dancing is very hard on a tutu. So can you restore a damaged tutu?
Oh, yes, we can restore a damaged tutu.
Because with all this work. Wow.
Oh, yes. Well, let me show you what I'm going to put here first on embellishment. I'm going to try to put this here.
Oh my
And
goodness.
this is going to take me at least 100 hours.
Oh my
And
goodness.
plus all this lace here.
Oh wow. How beautiful. Oh wow. My
So,
goodness.
all that.
Can you hold it up so yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That is a part of the embellishment now.
Yeah, and this trim.
Probably
all
have it
of that.
upside down, but you
Yeah.
know, it's just, oh, I love all this bling bling. Huh? Hey, Doug. Bling bling.
Let me show you the boning that goes inside. See the spiral to hold, hold the dancer
Again,
up.
we're still holding this up. Oh,
This goes all in there.
that's quite an effort.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah. This. How about this, Doug? You know.
is this a stiffener or?
That goes in the
Oh, I
bodice
see, to
area.
pull
So
it
that,
in.
and there's maybe 6 of those in different areas just to hold the
Wow.
girl up.
How long did it take you to learn to do this? Just, you know, dissecting this is just an awful hard.
Well, you know, I've sewn since I was in middle school.
Oh, so you've
okay.
been a seamstress for
For a while,
for a long
and then I
time,
took an
yeah.
I've always wanted to learn how to do this because it is an art form, and
It
you're
is.
creating something beautiful. And both my daughters, I have 2 daughters, they're dancers, but I never got into it when they were little, only now. And so I started about a year ago, and it's just
Really?
been it's taken over the house.
Yeah,
Well, then-
yeah.
Yes,
And
it's
I
something that
imagine a
just-
lot of it's trial and error,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Because I remember sewing way back then, patterns and all that. I bet there's time, and then of course you have another job.
Yes, I teach.
So you're doing this
So
like
in between
grading
in between grading papers and making lesson plans, this is what I do.
Wow, that's amazing. But now, let's say, so it takes 40 hours or so, not counting the embellishment.
40
too.
hours just
So,
plain, yeah.
How many would you like make, like in a month? I mean,
Well,
say.
on my schedule, probably 1. But if
wow.
I were doing this full time, it would be
Wow.
2.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we've noticed that tutus for children has become very popular. Now, I can't imagine them being to the extent that you do. They got to be facsimiles of what a tutu is. But you see them. We saw some pictures of little babies with their little things, and it's become kind of popular now.
Yeah,
so.
it is popular, but what I'm making is more on a professional level for professional dancers or for serious students. And I have a collection of different costumes which I can rent out also to those serious students who compete in like Youth American Grand Prix or Prix de Lausanne. So.
Because we've been noticing just like little girls just walking around wearing outfits like this. I mean, it's just their ages. Remember the kids that we were at the stoplights and we're like, oh, thinking that they just got finished with the dance class. But I don't think so. I think it's just becoming very popular.
It's just been incorporated to our, fashion, to our style.
Yeah.
Now I do restore tutus as well. And I've taken some very experienced tutus and I've just given them life again, given them at least 5 to 10 more years. I have a 7th picture that I like to show.
Well, yeah.
It's a Spanish.
So this was a before and after restoration.
Well, this is after. Before this, I'd like to show you what this looked like before.
Okay, so the picture before.
There it is.
This is okay.
So if you see, it's droopy.
It is.
It's worn down by sweat and movement.
So they tended into with
gravity. Gravity.
Yeah.
So I've taken it and then I've lifted it up. In the next picture after that.
Wow.
Right.
That one.
That one. Now this is a Spanish-inspired tutu.
So dancing is very, very hard. It sounds like it's hard on the tutu. So they.
Well, besides the sweat, then I imagine the tears.
The tears. And if you'll notice on a here's a plain one. Okay. If the tutu is made for partnering, meaning to dance with you will not find embellishment here around the waist. Why do you think that?
So they don't get stuck.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you're turning her around, that's where the cut's involved.
Sure.
So in my next picture, it's actually a sugar plum fairy picture. It's the 9th picture right there. If you see along the waist, you notice along the waist it's brown. And well, behind that's my dog Jessie, the greyhound, who loves to have his picture taken. So this experienced tutu needed work, and then I fixed it in the next photograph.
Wow, amazing!
And given it at least 10 more years of life.
So you get requests from people who have owned tutus. After they've danced, they want to have them restored.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now I noticed also.
Major tune-up on a tutu.
There's room. There's room. So as the dancer grows,
or costumes are shared.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Sure.
Ballet companies, costumes are shared.
They'd be very
So there's
expensive.
room. I see very strong hooks, by the way.
Yes.
Very strong. So there's no accidents or wardrobe dysfunctions, as they call it now. But there's room to grow. And to
there's room to tighten up.
Wow. That's amazing. So. Wow, so...
it's not like a formal gown where you go out and you're not doing too much. These things go through a rigorous...
They need to be durable.
Yeah.
They need to fit.
I thought we could put some of these back.
They need to stay.
So now, do you work with your own patterns? Do you design any of your own patterns, or are there just certain styles and you buy the patterns and that's it? Or do you design your patterns at all?
I take patterns and I adjust them. To fit the style that I would like.
Okay. And you modify them.
So
Wow.
Would you like to see a classical tutu?
Yeah.
In move?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this would be the classical one that
classic, the one that's out.
Yeah.
Remember, romantic
and
low.
Classical. Okay.
Classical, do you want to see more leg work? So,
Yes. Let's watch the beautiful dancer. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Can you join us over here? There. Are you catching your breath? Yeah. Are you thirsty?
I think I'm good.
Water for you, catching your breath. That was just beautiful. So now how do you feel when you don the beautiful tutu? How do you feel?
I feel way more elegant. Like I can perform better.
Yeah, it just makes you dance better, sure.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of dancing.
Ah. How long have you been in training?
Over 10 years, maybe. Wow. 13 years.
My goodness. Oh, and do you think that you might want to make this into a career someday?
Not really. I've always thought ballet and dancing was a hobby, so I want to keep it that way.
After all those years. It's like, oh. But you're so young.
Well, there's other dancing just beside ballet.
That's right. That's right.
I've noticed most dancers have their roots in ballet. It's like got the fundamentals for modern dance.
Well, actually, we were talking earlier, and you mentioned jazz dancing.
Yeah, that's another of my favorite.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I'd like to know, I think I know the answer. I would think that ballet is harder, especially on point, but am I wrong about that? Are they both hard?
Oh, ballet is much harder.
Ballet is much harder.
Your feet get ruined over time with the point shoes.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Have you ever seen a dancer's
I've heard so much about that. And your shoes look like they've been around the block a few times. You've been really working hard on those. So what about, let's talk about the aches and pains a little bit. I mean, is there a time like after you've done a lot of dancing or a class, you've done a class, and do you actually have pain? Do you have to do something to your feet, like soak them or anything like that?
A lot of dancers soak their feet in Epsom salt and water, warm water.
How much time is left?
And it just makes the dancer feel better, especially with their feet. But over time, with point shoes, you get new ones a lot. Like these are the ones I have right now are a couple months old, and I really need new ones.
That's all. Oh my goodness, they really do take a lot of abuse. Just to keep her in shoes would be really hard.
Oh, there are some dancers who will need a new pair of point shoes every performance.
Oh, wow.
Because sweat, movement.
Yes, yes. Well, now, you've tried on both costumes, and of course I know you've worn many, many costumes. Which costume do you prefer to dance in? Which style do you like to dance in better?
I like classical tutus because it makes me feel like, I think ballerinas look more like a ballerina in a classical tutu.
Yeah.
Because the main roles, like most people know, are in flat pancake tutus.
Do you find it hard because you can't see your feet? And I know you've been studying movements, and then all of a sudden now, you know, are you doing it right?
I don't think it's that hard because you have to know your placement. So if you're off balance, you'll know you're like not in the right place. So not seeing your feet is a big thing that we need like to get used to.
Well, it was just beautiful. We really, really enjoyed that dancing.
Thank you.
So, Maria, what kind of productions are you working on now?
Right now, I'm not working on a production. It's kind of a low in the season right now. Heavy season, ballet tutu making season is right before Nutcracker, because Nutcracker is the big money maker for companies.
Yes.
And before competitions. Right now is kind of a lull period.
So like in September, so you you get a push because
it gets picked up in September and January. September for Nutcracker and January for the competitions.
Yeah. But how many circulate on the ballets? You know, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying that they seem to repeat the same ones over and over and over. Why don't they have, like, you know, a bunch of new ones coming out?
There are new ones, yes, that do come out once in a while, but yes, ballet is a classic.
Yeah.
Ballet is a classic, and it's just that art form that, just like how it started, it's made for the elite. Yeah. It has this sense of eliteness to it, right?
Yes, and people love it. They love the traditional ones that they've seen, and they want to see it again. And then, of course, we've seen many productions that have been changed, and they're just totally different from the originals. And that's kind of fun, too, to see something that's
different. Oh, yes.
Quite
new choreography,
different.
yes. It is.
So you have a lot of styles, like peasant styles and those, because I think I saw a peasant style.
Well, yeah, like in Giselle. Giselle starts off, it takes place among peasants and Coppelia.
Well, but I think we're out of time, but we just enjoyed having you so much. And Elizabeth, we just loved, that was a joy to watch you dance. And I hope you hang in there just a little longer, because maybe you could be in a production that your mom's working on close. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, and always keep dancing. That's fun. That'll keep you fit.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. that and the
definitely,
jazz.
Yes, it's a beautiful art form.
Yes, yes. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for being here on the show today, and we hope to see you again.
Yeah, I learned all about tutus. I never knew anything about it. I've seen it, but I had no idea.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
I didn't know about the perspiration. That was, I mean, I don't think about it down here. I think about it maybe up around the bodice, but not so much down here that they go limp and all that.
Well, gravity.
Well, gravity. Yes, we won't talk about the other. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching the show. Watch again.